Ninth episode begins with Murderbot, Mensah, Pin-Lee, and Gurathin in the hopper. Sec Unit monologues about how humans react differently when faced with the prospect of imminent death. Gurathin isn't a fan of our titular bot's risky plan. Mensah asks Murderbot how the odds look. Could they survive its aforementioned risky plan? Initially, Sec Unit claims the odds are on the medium to low side. However, Gurathin immediately calls it out for lying. Sec Unit corrects itself, stating the odds are low to extremely low, probably in the basement at this point. Sec Unit clearly lied to make Mensah feel better. After this, Mensah lands the hopper. Sec Unit asks if everyone remembers their jobs. Gurathin sends a verbal jab its way before Sec Unit returns fire with a fun callback. I noticed you have an issue with eye contact, it says to Gurathin with a smug expression. So, Sec Unit departs to meet with the Greycris crew. At the Prezal habitat, Rathi, Bharadwaj, and Arata scan the area for potential hostiles. Rathi informs Sec Unit that Prezal is safe. It orders Rathi to keep the channel open. Meanwhile, Pin-Lee and Gurathin complain about Mensah. They both believe that Mensah should have stayed at the habitat. Gurathin remarks that Mensah can be implacable. Pin-Lee adds that, inexplicably, Mensah's inability to yield is hot. Gurathin agrees it's as frustrating as it is hot. Then, Murderbot tells us that it lied about its plan to the Prezal gang. Why? Because humans have a tendency to lose their shit. Pin-Lee must get a drone up in the air so Gurathin could use it as a transponder and hack into Greycris's hub system remotely. Then, our crew will launch the Greycris beacon and call for help. It got this idea from the Rise and Fall of Sanctuary Moon, episode 599, Kogi Saves the Day. A bona fide classic, it tells us. After this, Sec Unit encounters the Greycris team. It introduces itself to Rita, the Greycris leader. Her right-hand man attempts to override Sec Unit's governor module. Well, too bad for you. It did it first. It calls Greycris out for attempting to hack it to make it kill the Prezal crew. Rita asks to speak to Murderbot's clients. However, Sec Unit insists it has a plan. Next, it admits it's gone rogue. Might as well get that out of the way. Sec Unit explains that, initially, its clients were too self-absorbed to see that it was rogue. It claims Gurathin was the only one to understand the threat it posed before producing a head from its satchel. Yes, it's the head of the Sec Unit killed by that creature in episode 7. Then, Murderbot divulges that its clients are sabotaging Greycris's mission. It offers to help Rita capture them and get the information she wants. In exchange, Murderbot asks that the Greycris team take it with them on the pickup ship. However, Rita must list it as destroyed inventory. Mensah and the others are incredulous. Why would Sec Unit betray them? Rita agrees to Sec Unit's terms. Of course, if it's lying to them, they'll destroy it. Murderbot urges Rita to open a satellite link and connect to the Prezal hub system. Murderbot loudly claims it'll fool those idiots into keeping the connection open. Now, the Prezal team can hear everything Murderbot's saying. Sec Unit reiterates its willingness to hand over its clients, but only after Rita marks it as destroyed. Next, Murderbot orders Bharadwaj to lower the firewall to give Greycris access to the hub system. Rathi protests at this, claiming it wasn't part of the plan. Bharadwaj and Arata decide to trust it, though, and they help Rathi lower the firewall. Then, Pin-Lee and Gurathin release the drone that locates the Greycris beacon. After this, Arata sends the security codes to Gurathin. Pin-Lee patches in to Mensah, asking for pickup. Gurathin attempts to hack Greycris' hub system to launch their beacon. Gurathin informs Pin-Lee that the drone is now connected to the beacon. Meanwhile, Rita's right-hand man tells Murderbot that they've listed it as destroyed inventory. Rita orders it to disclose its client's location. Then, Sec Unit replies that the Prez Ox team is at the launchpad, having patched into their beacon. Way to throw your humans under the bus. It mentions that one of them is a highly advanced, augmented human. Instead of saying Gurathin, though, it claims this person is named Shagaman. This is a character from Sanctuary Moon. Clearly, Sec Unit's betrayal is part of the plan. Rita orders Sec Unit to accompany them to the launchpad. Gurathin and Pin-Lee realize that immolation is inevitable for Murderbot and the Greycris crew. They'll die when they come in contact with the launching beacon. Rathi urges Gurathin to stop the launch. Gurathin counters that if he does this, he can't get back into Greycris's hub system. They have 4 minutes and 46 seconds to launch. After this, Murderbot and Grey Chris land the hopper within the perimeter of the beacon. Elsewhere, Pin-Lee and Gurathin watch in horror as a large bird takes out the drone. Gurathin reveals that the drone can no longer trigger the beacon because it didn't finish the data upload. Pin-Lee frantically pings Murderbot to inform it that the beacon will no longer launch. Gurathin decides to go to the Grey Chris habitat to hack their system from there. Mensah takes matters into her own hands, flying the hopper to the Grey Chris beacon. At the same time, Rita and her team fail to find the Prezog crew at the launchpad. Murderbot tries small talk on for size. It's watched enough TV to understand the basic concept of it. It asks Rita where she's from and if the team likes it on this planet. Sec Unit attempting to stall is hilarious. Her right-hand man admits he hates it here. Sec Unit asks him if he wants to clasp hands before whirling around and hurtling itself off a small hill, shouting, "Boldness is all." Meanwhile, Pin-Lee and Gurathin duck behind some equipment after spotting a Grey Chris surveyor moving through the habitat. Mensah parks the hopper at the launch pad and introduces herself to Rita. Gurathin finally hacks Grey Chris's hub system. Unfortunately, that surveyor catches him in the act. Thankfully, Pin-Lee swoops in and, well, kills him. They didn't mean to commit murder, though. Rita asks why Mensah, a planetary admin, is on this planet. Mensah claims it all boils down to 2 words: alien remnants. Rita counters that it's illegal to exploit or extract alien remnants. They must report them to the proper authorities. Mensah fires back that said remnants could be valuable enough to justify killing people, like Grey Chris did to Deltfall, and their attempts to take out Prez Ox. Pin-Lee pings Mensah, informing her that they've successfully triggered the beacon. 1-minute countdown. Mensah offers to give Rita the data from the alien remnants in exchange for Sec Unit. Rita would rather torture it out of her, though. Sec Unit offers to torture Mensah itself. It's quite good at it. Then, Rita's right-hand man realizes Murderbot has been quoting Sanctuary Moon this whole time. Suddenly, Murderbot initiates a fight. The Grey Chris Sec Units fire back at it as Mensah takes cover. Sec Unit grabs Rita's right-hand man and shields itself with his body. The Grey Chris Sec Units cannot shoot a client. They're not rogue like it is. However, one of the other Grey Chris workers kills him. She attempts to escape in the hopper alone, but Rita shoots her. Meanwhile, the Grey Chris Sec Units beat the snot out of our Murderbot. It floods their systems with hours of premium TV, though to distract them. Next, Sec Unit grabs Mensah, and they run as the beacon launches. The fiery explosion incinerates Rita and her team. Murderbot shields Mensah as they leap off a cliff. Murderbot situates itself so that it absorbs the landing. After their fall, Mensah thanks Sec Unit. Gurathin and Pin-Lee reunite with them. They embrace Mensah. However, Sec Unit ain't looking so hot. Liquid leaks out of its mouth.